When soldiers attacked Tutuyak's village in South Sudan last year, she didn't even know which side they were fighting for. Now she lives with her children in this refugee camp. During the firefight, she was shot in the neck. Doctors here were able to remove the bullet. Despite a recent peace agreement, she doesn't want to go back.
South Sudan is not okay. I say this because I saw my husband, my co-wife and one of my children being killed in that war. So I do not have any hope of going back.
Kakuma refugee settlement in northern Kenya is her home. She's among 90,000 South Sudanese living here. The UN, who run the camp, say most arrived during the last conflict, which began in 2013. Following many months of stalled talks and growing international pressure, rebel leader Riek Machar and President Salva Kiir signed a peace deal in August. And refugees here in Kakuma don't have confidence in it. Some don't even know it was signed. And as yet, nobody's planning the journey back. The living conditions are tough. Most of the year it's very dry here. There are dust storms and no rain. For that reason, the camp managers can only turn on the water taps for a couple of hours each day. But then in the rainy season, it tends to flood a lot. Puddles form like this, which can be a breeding ground for mosquitoes, spreading malaria and other infectious diseases. But it's a better life and crucially a safer one than what people expect they'd get if they go back home. Tens of thousands of people came here during Sudan's civil war in the 1980s and 90s. The peace deal in 2005 led to a referendum in the south and then independence from Sudan. It was a time of hope. This sign explained the new government to refugees here. Most of them went home. But hopes faded when factional fighting took over the new nation 2 years ago. Civilians bore the brunt of it. These men have lived through generations of conflicts. As elders, their views lead the rest of the community, and they're not optimistic.
If it truly is peaceful, people should go home. But I have seen it before. We went home once before. If fighting erupts again, we will have to come back here. Then we will still be stuck in the camp, or we will have to request resettlement in another country. So we don't have hope of going home.
Basketball's a favourite sport in South Sudan. Here, the refugees have formed a league. Back home, ethnic groups have been pitted against each other in battle for decades. In the camp, teams from different communities play each other. For most, this is where they see their future. Webb, Jazeera, Kakuma, Kenya.